Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, I have about 5 feet of thread on my needle, and I'm using a size, I think it's a size 12 needle, but you should be good with a size 10 also. So our first step, it's a very easy step. We're going to do this part here. So go ahead and grab a IrisDuo. Oh, and I have also put a stop bead on my thread. So go ahead and do that. Then you can grab your IrisDuo, pick up 3 11/0, a 3x4 rondelle, 3 11/0, a IrisDuo, 3, I'm trying to get my beads closer, 3 11/0, a 3x4 rondelle. So this is what our first step is going to look like. Let me just get this all the way down on my thread. Our first step is going to be 11/0, IrisDuos, and 3x4 rondelles. So you're going to start with an IrisDuo, do 3 11/0, do a rondelle. I'm not going to call them 3x4s anymore. I'm just going to say rondelle. 3 11/0, an IrisDuo, 3 11/0, a rondelle, and so forth, alternating between IrisDuos and rondelles. Now on mine, do the length that's good for you. So on mine I did 12 IrisDuos on top, and then so that means I did 11 rondelles. Now, well, I did actually 13 rondelles, but because I have started and ended with a rondelle. So on this one, I'm not going to do that. I don't think it needs it, so I'm just going to start with an IrisDuo. I'm not going to have rondelles on the ends like I do on this one. So as I said, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. Just wanted to make sure. 12 of my IrisDuos, and then I'm going to have 11 rondelles. So I'm going to do this all the way down my necklace. So very, very easy first step. Just also make sure that all of your IrisDuos, that the holes are clear and that they are all sitting up, laying the way they should be. They're all facing the right side up, meaning the curvy or the puffed side and not the flat side. So go ahead and do this all the way down, and then I'll meet you back and show you what to do after that. Okay, so again, I came out of this last IrisDuo, added 3 11/0, picked up a storm duo, went through the IrisDuo, picked up another storm duo, 3 11/0, went through my rondelle, 3 11/0, picked up a storm duo, go through the iris, picked up another storm duo, and then I'm going to do it again one more time with you. So I'm coming out of this storm duo here, and as you can see, this is how your storm duos are going to go, how your little IrisDuo is going to be nestled in between them. So 3 11/0, go through the rondelle, you know, and at this point everything might be flipping around in your necklace. That's fine. This is once we get all of the other beads going on in there, it's going to settle down. So, and it's going to start to take its shape, you know, like that, the curve. Okay, so just went through my rondelle. I'm going to pick up 3 11/0, going to pick up, now don't forget this part. I almost did it, but don't forget it. I just came out of my rondelle. I picked up 3 11-ohs. Now, whoops. Now I'm going to pick up a storm duo like that, going in that direction because we're on this side of the iris. Going to pull. Coming out of the iris goes on another storm duo, then 3 11-ohs, and then go through the next rondelle. And once you're coming out of the rondelle, goes 3 more 11-ohs, pick up a storm duo, and then go through the next IrisDuo. So this is how your piece is going to look for this step. Again, it's another easy, very, very easy step. So go ahead and do this all the way to the end of your bracelet, and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so I finished adding all of my storm duos and my 11-ohs, and once I got to the end over here where I started, I went through the IrisDuo there, added the storm duo, added 3 11-ohs, and I met this thread that I started with, and I actually tied a knot. You don't have to, you can wait till the very end, and but I went ahead and tied it. And then I came out through this IrisDuo. I went down to the other hole of the IrisDuo, came out through the bottom hole, and then went through that storm duo. Now I'm exiting the storm duo. Okay, here I am. I'm exiting the storm duo. Now from here, I am going to pick up three 11-ohs, a mini round duo. I'm going to go through the mini round duo, and then I'm going to hop on over to the other hole of my mini round duo and pull. And then I'm going to go through my storm duos. I'm going to go through both of them. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to go through both of them. I'm going to come out of the other side of my storm duos, picking up a mini round duo again, and then here, and then I'm just gonna put everything here and just kind of pull my thread so I can tighten it. And then from here, for this next step, you're going to need your mini round duos, your 2-hole bells, your 15-ohs, your 11-ohs again, and if you're using 2 colors of 11-ohs, you're going to use both colors. So I came out of this little pair of storm duos. I added my mini round duo. I'm coming out of my mini round duo. I am going to add a 15-oh. I'm going to go through my 2-hole bell through one side. Then I'm going to pick up some 11-ohs again, and I'm putting in my other color here. So I'm going to do, I'm coming out of my 2-hole bell here, and I'm going to pick up 4 11-ohs, and since I'm using 2 colors, I'm going to do it like this. So, and then I'm going to go through up the other hole of my bell. I'm going to pull, I'm going to get another 15-0, go through my mini round duo here, the hole that's closest to the storm duo, and pull. And then I'm going to go through my storm duos again. So I circled around. I just added all of that. I circled around. Now from here, I'm going to go down my mini round. Do not go through that 15-0. So this step has a lot of steps, but you'll get it. And then just hold on to your beads and pull so that everything's nice and tight. And then hop on over to the other hole of your mini round and pull. And from here, we are going to add 2 beads. And I'm using 2 different colors. And from here, you're going to go through the middle bead here of this little grouping of 3 that's before your rondelle. And then you're going to come out of that middle bead there. You're going to add another 11-0. And then you're going to go through the middle 11-0. See how we did groupings here? See how we did groupings here? On either side of your rondelle, on the second step, we're going to be going through the middle bead of those groupings on this step. So I'm going through that middle bead. I picked up an 11-0, and I'm going to go through the middle bead on this side. And I'm going to pull. And it's not going to sit that pretty yet until you add all your beads and you circle around on this part. Okay, so from here, I'm coming out of this middle bead here from this grouping. I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-0s. I'm going to pick up a mini round. And then, oh, and we're also going to need our drops for this part. Forgot my drops. Let me get my drops. Okay, so I'm going to do that again. See, I've already put my drop. I'm going to do that again with you. Okay. So what I did, well, I'll just explain really quick how I did it, and then I'll move on to the next one. I left off here coming out of this mini duo, right? Then I added an 11-0, a drop, an 11-0. I went through the closer hole of the mini duo, and then I went through all the beads that I just added, and the two middle 11-0s from my previous step. What we're going to be doing on this step is, you see these little groupings, and I should have explained this earlier. You see these groupings of 3 11-0s that we added in our second step when we went through that rondelle. We're going to be using only the middle bead on both sides, in other words, on both groupings on this step. Only the middle bead of this grouping of 11-0s and the middle bead of this grouping of 11-0s. So I'm coming out of my, and I'm pulling tight, coming out of my mini duo here on this hole. Then I'm going to go through the other hole and then pull, and then from here you're going to go through both of your storm duos and pull. Then you're going to add a mini duo. You're adding a mini duo, then a 15-0, then a 2-hole bell going this way. See, this part is kind of like right angle weave because you're just adding a lot of stuff and you're circling around. Then when you're coming out of your 2-hole bell, pick up 4 11-0s, and I'm using 2 different colors, but you don't have to. Then I'm going to go through the other hole of my 2-hole bell. I'm going to go up the other hole, if it will let me. I think this 2-hole bell is having issues too. There. Okay, again, I'm going to go up the other hole of my 2-hole bell. I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to hold on to everything and pull my thread so that everything tightens up. And then I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm going to go through the closer hole of my mini duo. And I'm going to pull, so that will put my 2-hole bell in place right there. Then I'm going to go through these 2 storm duos again. Whoops. And that's really going to tighten our little storm duos there. Then, coming out of the storm duo, I'm going to go down this mini duo here, and I'm going to pull. Hold on to everything and pull your thread. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to jump on up to the other hole of my mini duo. And this is the second part that's kind of hairy. So I know this third step is kind of like, what? But you'll get it. And the good thing is once you finish this step, you'll be done with you'll be done with this part of your necklace. So I'm coming out of my mini duo. Remember, I hopped on over to the other hole. I'm going to add 2 11-0s. I'm going to go through the middle hole of this grouping here. I mean, the middle seed bead of that grouping. I'm going to pull. Then I'm going to add an 11-0. Then I'm going to go to the other side here, and I'm going to go through the middle seed bead, middle 11-0. Then I'm going to pull, and everything on this step is going to look really wonky until you complete this step. And that is normal. Don't go crazy right now. See how bad that looks? We're going to fix it. So yeah, pull it as much as you can, but don't go crazy. And then you're coming out of that middle 11-0. Pick up 2 more 11-0s, and I'm using 2 colors. Pick up a mini duo. I'm letting those fall here. Then I'm going to pick up an 11-0, a drop, an 11-0, and I'm going to go up this mini duo here, and I'm going to go through the 2 beads that I added just a minute ago on top of that mini duo. I'm going to go through the middle bead that I went through earlier. Whoops. And then I'm going to go through the 11-0 that I added. Then the middle bead on this side that we went through. And now I'm going to go down these 2 11-0s that we added on top of this mini duo, and I'm going to go down the mini duo. Here is when I'm going to hold on to my beads and I'm going to pull. going to pull, and just like magic, everything is in place. There's no funkiness like how it was earlier. And see, again, that's not going to happen. You're not going to get this pretty look until you've added everything, then gone around and come out of this mini duo for the second time. So just hold your piece, pull, and then go up the other hole of your mini duo, and you're going to do this all over again. And I'm going to do it one more time with you. So, didn't want to do that. I dropped my drop. Okay, going to go through these two storm duos. Picking up a mini duo, a 15-0, a 2-hole bell. Okay, coming out of this mini duo, I picked up a 15-0, a 2-hole bell, and now I'm going to pick up my 4 11-0s again, and I'm going to go through the other hole of my 2-hole bell. I'm going to pick up a 15-0, and I'm going to go through this hole of my mini duo. So that is going to put all of that in place. And once again, I'm going to go through these storm duos, and I'm going to go down the mini duo, making sure not to go in through that 15-0. Hold your work, pull your thread. Okay, this part once again, I'm coming out of my mini duo. I'm going to go through the other hole of my mini duo. I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s. I'm going to go through this middle 11-0 here of that grouping from my second step. Picking up another 11-0, going through this next middle 11-0 of this grouping on the other side here. Everything looks really bad. That's normal. Pick up 2 11-0, pick up a mini duo, checking my hole there, and then after the mini duo on goes 11-0, drop, 11-0, go through this mini duo again. Everything still looks weird. Above the mini duo, we're going to go through those 2 11-0s that we added. And then I'm trying to get that middle one. Okay, so I went through the 2 that I just added, and then that middle bead again from that grouping. Everything still looks really wonky. Going through this 11-0 that we added, and then the middle 11-0 on the other grouping, looking really weird. Then the 2 11-0s that we added on top of this mini duo. I don't know, I'm having a hard time. Okay, and then down the mini duo. Here is where we're going to hold our piece and pull. And everything is in place. Pull tight. And I think I'm going to have to do this part again because as I was doing this and I grabbed my 11-0, I wasn't watching this side and my piece was flipped up. So now I can't flip it back down. I think because I went through that middle hole. So I'm going to have to take all that out again. That's fine. I'll just remove my needle and then take that out. But so when you're going through, which I guess I'm glad that happened. When you're going through doing this part, just make sure that everything is sitting the way it's supposed to. Make sure that your little neighbor beads here are down like this and not up like that, or you're gonna get this. Okay, so just do the step that I just did and just make sure that your piece is like that, that everything is sitting the right way. Okay, so go ahead and finish up and I will show you what to do after that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this version of the necklace now using the Briolettes, and it's not very different, but I wanted to show you anyway. So the technique is the same, but I thought I'd show you anyway how I did it. Also, I'm going to substitute the middle bead here in the middle with a 8-0 instead of a 12-0, which I like. I think I like better how the 8-0 looks. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole necklace. I'm just going to do a little piece for you just to show you how I did it. So I already did the first 2 steps, and now I'm going to finish up on the second step. And I'm going to put the last of my storm duos. So going into my storm duo. Letting it drop. And now I'm going to go through these 3 beads up here by the stop bead. And I'm going to go through my IrisDuo. And then I'm going to drop down the other hole of my IrisDuo and then come out of my storm duo right here. And pull tight. That way we get everything nice and tight. Now from here, I am going to pick up 3 more 11-0s and my mini round duo. So I'm going to pick up 3 11-0s. Pick up my mini round duo. Whoop. Now I'm going to go through the other hole of my mini round duo. And I'm going to hold on to it and I'm just going to pull tight. Okay. Now, from here, I'm going to go through my storm duo, one of them, and then instead of going straight into the other one, I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm going to go through my next storm duo, and then now I'm going to pick up my next mini round, and I'm going to pick up a 15-0. No, I'm sorry. An 11-0, a Briolette, and again I'm using the bigger size of Briolettes. This is the 6x12, and I'm using for the sample here the Montana AB. So coming out of my mini round duo, I have an 11-0 Briolette and an 11-0. Then I'm going to go through this hole here of my mini round duo, the hole closest to your storm duos, and pull. Now, just reinforce by going through everything one more time. And make sure you go through that 15-0. It's easy to miss, and I think I did. Okay. Once again, I'm not picking up anything. I'm just going through everything that I added. So that will put 2 strings into this little part here. And I'm going to show you how to avoid the little mishap that happened earlier in the tutorial. I'm going to tell you what exactly I did. That way you can avoid that and it won't happen to you. Okay, so now I just need to go through that storm duo, and I just put cream on my hands, so I'm having a little trouble here, but the needle just wants to slip out of my fingers. Okay, now I'm going to go down the mini round duo, not going through that 11-0 after it. Then I'm going to go up the other hole of my mini round duo. Now you need to make sure that your component for this step next to it is not flipped up like that, because if it is, when it comes time to go through the middle 11-0 after the rondelle, instead of getting this one here, you're going to, since it's going to be flipped, you're going to end up getting this one here, which is the middle 11-0 after the rondelle from the first step. You need the middle 11-0 here from your second step after the rondelle. Okay, so make sure that it's going to keep on flipping, but when you're ready to work for it, make sure you just flip it back down correctly like that, and you will avoid that little mistake. Okay, I'm coming out of my mini round duo. Pick up 2 of your 11-0s. Before I use 2 different colors, I'm just going to use one. Go through the middle 11-0 here. Now I'm going to pick up an 8-0 instead of an 11-0. And I think I like that better. But it's up to you what you want to do there. And then you need to go through the middle 11-0 here. Whoops. Pick up 2 11-0s, just like in the other necklace. Your mini round duo, an 11-0, a drop, an 11-0. So on my needle, after I've gone through this middle 11-0 from this grouping here, on goes two 11-0s, a mini round duo, an 11-0, a drop, and an 11-0, and I'm going to go up this mini round duo here, and I'm going to go through the beads that I added, which are this second 11-0, second 11-0, and then the middle 11-0. And you won't have to pull as tight as you did with the other one because you're using a bigger bead on this step here. You're using now an 8-0, and I'm kind of wishing I had used it contrasting color since I have blue on blue, but that's okay. And then this middle 11-0 here, and then down these 2 11-0s that you added, and down the mini duo, and pull. And it's a lot easier because you're not going to have to pull as hard, because since you're using a bigger bead, it's going to be nice and snug. And that's how it looks with your Briolette. So go up the other hole of your mini round duo, go through your storm duo, pick up a 15-0, and then go through your next storm duo. Now the reason you have to put a 15-0 in between this version is because if you don't, they're going to stay far apart and you're going to see thread. And it's only because we're using a bead that's going to, see here, you don't really have that problem. And it's just because of the type of beads that we're using. So with the Briolettes, you are going to have to put a 15-0 in between the storm duos when you're ready to put your Briolette. So I'm coming out of my storm duo here. I'm going to pick up a mini round duo, an 11-0, a Briolette, an 11-0, and I'm going to go up this mini round duo. Whoops. And then I'm going to go through everything again. Now for time's sake and because I'm recording, I'm not going to do that. So, but it's better if you do that. But since this is just a little sample, I'm not going to do that. So our second Briolette is in place. So this is how to do the necklace with the Briolettes instead of the 2-hole bells. Now, once you finish and you come to the end, you are going to put you're going to be coming out of your storm duo here. Then of course you're going to reinforce. And once you reinforce, you're going to be coming out of your storm duo again. So once you do that, put in 3 11-0s, go through your storm duo here, come out and go through this. You're going to circle around, in other words, and go through your storm duo again here. And then when you go back up the 3 11-0s, I'll show you here. When you go back up the 3 11-0s, now you're going to go through the 3 11-0s that are here. Okay? That are here. They're there from before. You're going to go through those 3 0s. You're going to be connecting all these 11-0s here on the side. And then just take your string and go through everything on from your first step. All of this here. And I feel something on my foot and it's tripping me out. Okay. Go through everything here until you meet your stop bead here at the beginning. Once you have done that, well, go ahead and do that and I'll show you what to do after that. Okay, so let me just show you what I was talking about. This is the end. I've already put in my last Briolette and I've already reinforced it. And I'm coming out of the mini round duo here. I'm going to hop on over to the outer hole. And then from here, I'm going to put in 3 11-0s. I'm going to go in through this storm duo here, the end one, the top hole, and pull. And then I'm going to go down that same storm duo, back down. And then I'm going to go circle around, coming out of my storm duo. I'm going to go down the mini round duo again, the innermost hole, the hole closest to the storm duo. And then again, I'm going to hop on over to the other hole. And I'm on the end, and this time I'm going to go through, I'm going to be connecting these 6 11-0s. So that's what I was talking about earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now from here, I just need one more to go through. I'm going to go through this 11-0. And then through the IrisDuo. And then I'm just going to go through every single bead there from my first go round. Okay, so pretend this is the whole necklace. And I've already started. So I'm just going to continue going through every single, through the 11-0s from your first, of course the rondelles, the top hole of the IrisDuo, all the way till you get to the end. Once you get to the end, meet your thread over here with your, go ahead and take off your stop bead. And once you meet it, just tie a knot. And then once you've done that, you can go ahead and stick a jump ring through these ends here, the way I did here. You can just stick a jump ring like that. See? Or if you, and then attach it to whatever chain you like. Or if you want, you can just make a beaded chain. But I did that with all of mine. I just went ahead and stuck a jump ring in through here. You can see that. And I attached it to chain. So, and I kind of like that. I like that. I went ahead and did that with all of them. So, this is our necklace.